This is my audience for my speech. Hi, my name is Brian Noel, and for my persuasive speech, I use my organizational power with cause and effect, and I'm doing my speech over drunk driving, or drinking and driving. Time is essential in life to us. It can be the right time, or it can be the wrong time. I must ask though, when is the right time to drive after you've been drinking? Centers for Disease Control and Prevention website stated on April 17, 2013, that almost 30 people in the United States die in motor vehicle crashes that involve alcohol-impaired drivers. This amounts to 1 death every 48 minutes. My goal is to help us to get to know about the cost of driving, the effect, and how we can resolve drinking and driving. Drinking and driving is a bigger problem than it sounds like. We need to have a change of mind and think twice before doing it. I can relate to this because I know someone who has been involved with drinking and driving in one way or another. First of all, I want to talk about the cost of drinking and driving. I could break this down into two things: the cost as an adult and the cost as a minor. For being an adult, the way that you could come across with the cost of it is having to explain something like that to your kids after getting a DUI or a DWI. That is something that would be almost kind of something on a personal level that you could feel ashamed of for when your kids get older and they'd be like, well, Mom, you did drinking and driving, or Dad, what were you doing? Also, it could be something hard to explain to your significant other. A late night after work, you go out, you had some drinks, maybe didn't communicate to your significant other all day, and you come back with a DUI or you're in jail, and you have to call your significant other. Also, it's a big unexpected cost to others, or what adults I mean, such as you have kids, you're paying for all the groceries, you have a house insurance, but now you have a DUI that you have to pay for. That's something that's going to be a huge unexpected cost. Now I can talk about the cost of the minor. I interviewed my roommate, Akeem Roberts. His name is protected for privacy. On July 28, 2014. He was convicted of driving while intoxicated under the influence of alcohol. His sentence is not finalized, but is looking at being on high-risk insurance for 3 years, court costs, public defender costs, plus whatever he finalizes his sentence with. I don't think I mentioned that he's also in college this time, either. Akeem's also stated in his interview that it's something that I have to live with now. Having a DUI is something that future employers will see on my background check. It's a really expensive mistake. We can also connect with drinking and driving in the community and reach out to others, such as when police officers will come in to schools and they'll show to kids or high school students about drinking and driving. According to MAD.org, in 2014, Americans take 233 billion trips in cars each year. Of those, about 1 out of every 2,000 trips are taken by those who are under the influence of alcohol. Yet almost 1 out of every 3 traffic deaths involve drunk driving. I get it, guys. Having a drink with your friends is a good time. But however, it might be just a drink to you. It's a matter of life or death for another. Now that I mentioned about the cost of drinking and driving, let's talk about the effect that it could have on all of us. Drinking and driving has an enormous effect on ourselves and even others. What we don't realize is drinking and driving can stick to you long term. How your work life can be related and how your personal life can be affected. And as far as your work life, on your background check, now it's going to be showing you have a DUI. Such as if you wanted to get a job that would involve driving, that could be a problem coming up in the future. Plus with future employment, you might have a great background with your resume, great build-up, and then it's a hard decision between 2 employees. This guy has a DUI. This guy has a clean background. I think that as an employer, they would pick someone maybe over that would have a clean record. Your personal life. This is something I think we can all relate to if we know someone that's been drinking and driving before, or if we've done it our own self without realizing it. Thinking it's not a real big a deal. That's the biggest problem in our personal life that people face when they get under the influence. It's not big of a deal. I've only had a couple of drinks. If you have a couple sips, you are still considered with drinking and driving. Such as when you get convicted of it, you can have higher insurance, as I mentioned with my roommate, Akeem Roberts, and you can have no license for 90 days. According to South Dakota, when you have a DUI, your license gets suspended for 90 days. If you have a minor, you get your license suspended for 30 days. Others can be affected out in the community, such as death. QuitAlcohol.com stated in 2014 that an average of 12,000 people die every year in DUI-related accidents. You could possibly even kill yourself when you get behind the wheel after having alcohol. Another way that others can be affected is by serious injuries. You could be putting others in permanent and disarmed like disabilities when you get out and you might get in a wreck. According to Wisconsin Department of Transportation website stated, during 2012, there were 2,907 alcohol-related injury and crashes just for the state of Wisconsin alone. Long-term injuries to yourself, physically or mentally, can be affected, such as with maybe not wearing your seatbelt, you get whiplash. Now to talk about the cause and effect of driving, I want to talk about how we can resolve it, or I think that it can be resolved as well. We can help others, we can be safe, and we can learn from our mistakes. The way to plan help others is if you plan accordingly, you have a good time, and you stick up for others to not drive after drinking. But you can have a safe way of getting home as well, such as contacting your other friends. Another way to help others is to be safe. DrunkDrivingPrevention.com in 2014 stated that having a plan before you know you're going to be drinking is imperative prior to having a drink. I personally believe this is the safest way to protect others. We can learn from our mistakes, such as knowing from someone on a personal level that had gotten behind the wheel after drinking and driving and might have died. We can get a designated driver and always have a backup plan. I personally think that if you are young and you're a minor, that if you don't have a friend that you can go to your parents. Go to someone you trust and you know that would help you. Drinking and driving is obviously something that can have a traumatic cost and effect to oneself. I hope that you strongly consider the next time that you or someone you know thinks about driving after drinking, that you reach out and help them from doing something terribly wrong. The more we reach out and help others, the more we can minimize drinking and driving. Thank you guys for listening to my speech today, and I will finish up by showing you.